Hi, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, Fading Suns. Folks, this is a very interesting game with a fantastic backstory, a lot of depth, a lot of really great opportunity for role-playing, adventuring, that is, to be very honest with you, married to a system that I don't find that enthralling or even easy to play. We'll get to that later on. But for any faults the system had, this game is well worth getting your hands on just for the depth of the story. The backstory to this is, it is the dawn of the 6th millennium after Christ, and humanity has expanded out into space. We have built a universal republic of emancipation and high technology, and everything is wonderful, and then, humans being humans, we fight over it, we squander it, we war, and we lose it, and civilization collapses back to a new Dark Ages. The point of this game, the point of Fading Suns, is it has been described as the Renaissance in space. This is coming out of those Dark Ages. This is coming out of the era of constant war, of constant threat, and it sort of gives you a new hope, a little. The point of this game is a passion play, sort of where your actions have much broader consequences than they may in other role-playing games. Now, that is one of the campaign options. You certainly don't have to play it that way. What is some of the background in this game? Well, you have a principal 4-tiered power structure in this world. 4 things supporting the current civilization. There are the nobles. Now, the nobles are subdivided into 5 houses that vaguely mirror certain Earth power structures, certain Earth noble houses, or certain Earth nationalities of the past. For example, you have the Hawkwoods, which are, in my opinion, fairly clearly British. You've got the Lihalan, who are, I've always thought they were French, but the more I read about them, they turn out to be, they're a bit more Asian-oriented. You have the Al-Malik, which are Persian or Arabic. You have the Ducados, which have a very strong Italian-Russian feel. And then you have the Hazat, thank you very much, who are very clearly Spaniards. Another pillar in this overall society you have is the church, which are subdivided into 5 categories. You've got the Orthodox, the Eschatonics, who investigate the occult and mysteries, the Avestites, who are the Inquisitors, the Brother Battle, that are pretty closely linked to the Knights Templar, and the Almatheans, who are healers. Then you've got the Guild, which is also subdivided, say it with me, into 5 categories. The Charioteers, who literally own the space lanes, the Engineers, who maintain the technology, the Reeves, who are the lawyers and the moneylenders, the Musters, who are the sort of talent recruitment and slavers, and the Scravers, who are sort of the combination mob and archaeology guild. The final power structure is the newest, that is the Empire, and the Emperor himself, Alexius Hawkwood, who has recently ascended to the throne. He is sort of trying to consolidate his power and separate himself from his home house. What else can you expect in this game? Well, you have barbarians at the gates, literally. The Voldrak barbarians, who are sort of space Vikings, and the Caliphate, who are probably space Moors, would be the best way to describe them. All of these have their own empire, their own setting, and really their own books to describe them in great detail. There are alien races to deal with. There is a plague in the form of the symbiotes, which are a kind of like the monster from John Carpenter's The Thing. Sort of, it can take over you and alter your body. Folks, this is an absolutely amazing game of unprecedented depth, of options. This is one of the few kitchen sink sci-fi settings that you can throw in anything you want, and it works. Because everything it threw in under the lens of this passion play coming out of the Dark Ages in the far future. The system I mentioned, to be honest, it's a combination of D20 and White Wolf, in that you roll a D20. I describe it as sort of like the Price is Right, the highest you can without getting over your target number. That affects a pool of 6-sided die you roll for damage, or for soaking damage, or for armor. It gets really clunky. There's a martial arts system, there's a gun system, there's a fencing system, psionics, theurgy. It all adds up to something that, in my opinion, doesn't match well with the beauty and the depth of the setting. Folks, this is a game worth getting your hands on, even if you don't like the system and you don't think you'll play it, other than just the marvel that they have created 3,000 years of detailed accurate history spreading out into space. I have only begun to just nip the surface of what this game is about. It's fantastic. If you like sci-fi gaming that is different, that is not your typical spaceships and blasters, even though you could play it that way, that has more depth, politics, intrigue, get your hands on this. It is currently available through RedBrick Limited that have republished this, which is a revised second edition. They have an adventure out. They're planning more adventures and other focused in details. You can get older copies of this, of other supplements at used game stores, eBay, any source like that you can find. Get it, folks. It's great. I love it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact us at kandwiegel@yahoo.com. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.